aliens from around the galaxy. It's time for the Big Sci-Fi Podcast. It's time to turn up the volume. Woo! Set the dial to fun. Reaching warp speed. Adina, Brian, Chris, and Steve. The biggest sci-fi podcast in the galaxy. It's time for the Big Sci-Fi Podcast.
What is humanity? Now, the Merriam-Webster definition is compassionate, sympathetic, generous behavior, or disposition. Now, the first two syllables of the word is human. So can we assume that only a human can show humanity? But what if the individual that shows humanity is not human? And what if it's a robot? Good day, fans of the Big Sci-Fi Podcast. Today we are here to discuss the film that brings up front and center if a little box-shaped robot by the name of Wall-E fits this definition of the word humanity. Today we have with us a true expert on robots. It is our own Adina.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if I'd call myself an expert.
You are
on fictional robots, for sure.
You can't write it without knowing it. And you know it. Alongside, we have Chris.
Hey.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, everybody.
And your host, Steve. Now, Brian cannot be with us as he is doing a very human being thing. He's being on vacation with his family, and we know he's having a great time. So he'll be back. He'll be back soon enough. So for now, let us review the film from 2008. Wow. Just to think, it was 18 years ago this film debuted, and I guess the movie now is old enough to vote. I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So without ado, let's get into talking about Wall-E. And as always, I open with the first and foremost question: what was the first time you saw this movie?
I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater.
When it came out?
Yeah, when it came out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
you,
I saw it in the
Chris?
theaters too when it came out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw it in theaters.
I remember distinctly when we went to go see it at the theater, and just was, it's interesting things about Pixar films. Their progressions they seem to get better and better and better. And when Wall-E came out, it was like they hit the pinnacle. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that? Do you agree? Do you think at that point it was, the best of the Pixar films? And a few had come out already. We've had two Toy Stories. We had Bug's Life. We had other films come out as well.
So are you talking? Yeah. Do you mean like from a technical look standpoint,
just for a feel, how the movie feel, or how the story was, or all that?
That was a film.
Oh,
I remember
amazing.
feeling like it was. I'll share my thoughts on it, but I was just like, whoa, a lot of feelings for that. I'd say technically I can see, there's a huge evolution. Looked gorgeous when I watched it, even just watching it again. Didn't feel dated at all. It actually felt very relevant, and which we'll get into. But yeah, it looked really, really good compared to when I watched Toy Story a few years ago, like a few months ago. I watched the first one again. I was like, okay, wow, the animation has come a long way.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, that was what, 12 years or so after
1996 or something. 97.
Toy Story came out, I think, in 1996. So it was about 12 years had elapsed. But Adina, about the evolution of computer memory and capacity, a little bit. In my day job, I do this for a living. Yeah. So in 12 years, where graphics and computer animation went, it was a multiple jump.
Yeah. But I mean, just the fact that you had this story of, the main characters are robots, and they're not evil robots. They're good robots. The main characters anyway. The protagonist was, also a robot or an algorithm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna call that one. I'm gonna call the Axiom's computer an algorithm. I don't want to even call it a robot. But you have, Wall-E. It was just Wall-E's been one of my favorite robots ever since. I bought the DVD when the DVD was available back. This is so when we were still buying, it was still normal to buy DVDs.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
don't buy
Yeah.
DVDs very much, anymore. But back then it was still normal. And so I have since watched it. Like, I have watched this movie 1,000 times.
I can't even guess how many times I've seen it.
Mhm.
And every time I watch it, it's like it's joyous is how I feel about it. It just makes you smile. And I think it's how the film opens
Mhm.
in such a way that you have this beautiful song from Hello Dolly that opens the
Oh,
movie
okay. I was trying to figure out the
as you're
musical.
coming into the earth, and you don't know what you're going to see until you get there, and then you see what the earth has turned into, and you've got this, and the music kind of fades out as you
Mhm.
come to grips with the new reality of what humanity has done to the earth. It's interesting how they wrote it because there's very little dialogue in the film if you think of it.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
mostly
Hmm.
action and emotion. And the way they designed Wally, okay, first off, he's a little box.
He's
For somehow that
adorable.
little box
Hmm.
can fit in
Yes.
drive system,
Mhm.
arms, his head. He also can pull in debris, compact it, and push it out.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's kind of like a TARDIS, you know? It's like it's
Well,
small
no,
on the
not
outside,
really.
big on the inside.
There's just not much to it, right? It's mostly, he's got some programming circuitry, whatever. And then yes, he's
Mm-hmm.
got the physicalness to fulfill his function,
Yeah.
which is to compress the trash. That's
Mm-hmm.
all he
Hmm.
needs. It doesn't need to be, and he's got some good treads on his, like his mobility so he can get
Mm-hmm.
around.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't need much more.
Yeah. No, it isn't. He had one function.
Yeah.
He was a trash collector.
Yeah. And he did it. And he did,
And he
Hmm.
and he did it
and he did
for
it
who knows how
without
long.
well,
It's
that's just
probably
it.
like I'm
Because
assuming 700 years or
yeah.
Well,
around that time.
okay.
Assuming
So
when they
here's the thing.
left.
Well, you don't that's one of the things because that doesn't make sense that a bot in that environment is going to last that long. So I only thought about this recently. I never really worried or thought too deeply
Mm-hmm.
about this up until recently. But there's no way that he's going to last that long. He's going to wear down. And yes, finding replacement parts from the other like bots. But even still, 700 years seems to be too much for the harsh environment that he's in. So
Mm.
what I'm wondering is, like, maybe he's not a first generation trash compactor bot. Maybe there were multiple generations. Maybe he is a more recent one.
Well, the
So one
interesting
that was dropped off at some
Well, I
point?
don't
Because
know.
that's where I would get
I
confused.
know.
Yeah. But
But
I see what you're
because
hanging
saying.
around
Like
for
that
700 years doesn't
environment.
make
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, they seem
Yeah.
to imply at the end, in the latter part of the film, when Fred Willard shows up again
Oh,
and
okay. That's
says
it.
that they
Mhm.
have since suspended the operation that, the earth is too
Yeah.
polluted forever. And that is only a short time after.
That's a few years, right? Because
Yeah,
they were
right,
expected to be out for 5 years, cruising around for 5 years while the Earth gets, cleaned up. Okay,
right.
and so
Hmm.
maybe at that point it's like 10 or 20 years. Because again,
Hmm.
he's how much is he aging, right? So it's not that long, but
Right,
then yeah, so it's been a couple hundred years
right.
now since they've been gone. So like I said, I'm sure it is intended to be the same one because I'm sure I'm overthinking this at this point, right?
No,
But
you're not. You're
well,
not.
I am a
No,
little
The
you're
bit.
not.
only
You know the reason why
reason.
you're not, Adina, is
Mm,
because when they show the inside the captain's quarters,
mhm.
and they show the progression of captains leading up
Yeah,
to this particular,
yeah,
and if you figure a captain's generation is going to be 25 years,
hmm
maybe 100 years or 150 years, or even maybe 200 years would have elapsed in the various captains taking
hmm
command of the Axiom. So yeah, I mean, I think always that was a sticking point with me was the length of time had elapsed, that it was
right.
700 years.
And then
Yeah.
add in
Hmm.
his fascination with humans seems to stem from he hadn't ever been around them.
What you mean,
Like he
Wally?
was
Or
created after the humans left.
Right. That seems.
So imagine as part of their plan, as part of their cleanup plan, they recognize that equipment is going to, wear out. So they
Mhm.
have a plan to pop out more Wallies for at least some
that
period of
would
time.
make
That's what I'm saying. I
sense.
guess that's what I'm saying. Is like
Right,
there was some
right.
kind of plan to pop out some more Wallies. So he's not an original generation. He's like maybe a couple of generations down. So maybe Wally is only like 50, 60, maybe 100 years old.
Mhm.
So he started his operation long after the human's gone. So he's never seen a real human. He's only seen them in videos.
Right.
And that's how, and yeah, and he still has to fix himself with parts of prior Wallies.
Because it would have been the same model, is just
Yeah.
that, yeah. And again,
They're just making
it's
more. They have a little factory that makes more of
yeah.
them.
Well, yeah, because everything
Yeah.
seemed to be automated once they
Mhm.
left. And the fact that, even after 700 years, signage still works and things like that,
Mhm.
that things did wear out, but not so much. And again, that's why I think the exaggeration of how many years went by may be a bit excessive. And again, what you said, Adina, is correct, because without proper maintenance, that anything mechanical is going to break down after a period
Yeah.
of time. And
Yeah.
especially with an environment such as it was on Earth, which was fairly toxic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and again, some of the other things that came up is, again, this is after the Y2K, and we're into a new millennium,
Hmm.
and the idea of what are we doing to our planet was the focal point of this particular
Yeah.
film, and the fact that it also played into our need to consume
Hmm.
ferociously, that we do generate trash, and if
Hmm.
not properly disposed of, it just accumulates. And so I think
Hmm.
that was part of the message that they were trying to bring up, that well, the robots will just clean up our mess,
Hmm.
and that's not the case of what
Yeah.
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I saw it once in theaters, thought really well made movie, but man, it hit in not the feels in the sense I was emotional. Like, I mean, there was some
Hmm.
stuff that made me sad, but just like the existential part of me was like, holy moly, like, how are we gonna? This is a little too realistic. I could see this happening, and then, but I guess I completely forgot about how hopeful it was near the end.
Hmm.
And so watching it this time, I was like, okay, I feel a little bit better. It's
Mm-hmm.
Well,
still a
because
bit like, oh my
where it's
gosh,
gonna,
we are
where it's
close.
going.
Right.
And the whole screens thing is like, man, the screens thing has escalated in the last 18 years compared to how we were using screens and how are we communicating with each other. And then
Hmm.
COVID happened and we were doing a lot of like FaceTime and
Mm-hmm.
Zoom stuff. And now that's just continued. So seeing that, I felt like it was more relevant. I felt like, yeah, it
Yeah.
still hit that dark kind of thing. And even Dill was like, man, I know you well enough to know that I can see why this disturbs you because you're thinking about it existentially. Again, forgetting until the end that, oh, right, there's the whole like thing around the plant and like them actually, and then in the end credits, seeing how they're rebuilding Earth. So I was like, oh, thank
Hmm.
goodness, because what a ride. It's like Wally hit me for the existential stuff. Like this could be us if we're not careful, especially seeing how the humans are in that point and like not being able to function without robots and all that stuff. And then
Hmm.
Up is the other movie, which I just have a really tough time with because it hits me all in like the relationship with my dad and my losing my grandparents and all that stuff. So like
Hmm.
I've always chalked those two movies together as being great movies, but not ones that I can watch without going through an emotional roller coaster.
Hmm.
You are, boy, Chris, you really hit it on the head, because I feel the same way about those two movies. It is just, this one, again, on that emotional feeling about, what are we doing to our planet and what's happening. And then you watch Up, and in the very first sequence of the film, you watch two lives together,
Yeah.
all the
Oh,
way from beginning
devastate
to
me.
end. And it's an emotional
Hmm.
effect that, if you realize, you get to see the lives these people have, all in music, no words, no
Mhm.
dialogue, just, and it hits you when when Ellie dies and he's
Yeah.
left by himself. It is.
I remember playing in university. So I had my N64. I was like, oh, I'm going to buy this old classic system again. It's going to be great. And I had it on a TV and I was playing it, or I was either playing that or doing something else. And my roommate, Eric, was watching Up with his girlfriend. And I remember hearing it and like not even paying attention. And I'm like, man, I'm still feeling it. This is going to get me. So it's just like very well done. But yeah, just so emotional. But I'm glad that Wally was more uplifting near the end, and there was, okay, here's the situation, but we have a solution, and then we get to see them actually carry it out and have the captain go, hey, what the heck is happening here? We got to fix this ASAP.
Yeah, so we only get like so yes, it ends on a hopeful note, right? But we only get that little snippet. We really don't know what happens after. And this is one of the movies I am thankful. I am really glad there was never a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where because oh yeah, sorry, go ahead, Adina.
No, I was like because again, people, I feel like any movie that does well, they're like, we're going to make a sequel. I am so glad there is no sequel to this, because I feel like that would have, because I think a sequel, again, because you have to have some drama and tension. You have to have things go wrong. Things have to go wrong before they can go right. And that's the thing is, so a lot of things can go wrong in this whole concept of, hey, we're going to rebuild. Right. So I don't want to see that. Honestly, I don't want to see that. I want to just, they end in a good place. They're going to let us assume that things went well, which is unrealistic, but that's fine because it's a movie.
Well, I think they kind of did that
in the
over
credits.
I'm sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Oh, so and we get to see in the credits that it's like, oh, they built wells and they started farming again, and there's like parkland even, and
that's enough.
Yeah.
That was enough.
Swimming
I'm
like, okay, good.
It's a
with the
little
Peter
bit.
Gabriel song, that was enough. It didn't need anything more than that. You're absolutely right.
Little bit.
Yeah, that was just a little bit. That's all. But yeah, a sequel to this, you didn't need to. You just know what happened. You know that that Eva and Wally connect at the end when she sparks him back to life again, because it's pretty dismal when she finally finds the part and rebuilds, gets him back up and running, and he has no memory of her whatsoever. I mean, that was tragic.
I remember watching it and knowing and remember, okay, yeah, there was a bond, but watching it now, I'm like, man, this really is a hardcore romance. You have all the romance, not all the romance tropes, but I'm like, how did I not remember this? I'm like also wondering, how did I not remember a lot of the movie? But yeah,
how old were you when it came out?
Well, this was 2008, so I would have been in high school, just finishing up high school. I'm trying to remember if this came out in the summer 2008. Because that would have been grade 11 for me, I think. So I was not young, but I certainly should be able to remember that. But I think I saw it and was like, okay, this hit me in all the spots, so I'm gonna made me too emotional. But yeah, the love story in the relationship was just was just so well done.
I just remember, after seeing it going in, at work and just going. This movie showed what humanity's all about. Again, right back to the word I said at the beginning, is that you want to connect with someone. And whenever you see two people holding hands as they're walking down the street, it's like they're connected with each other, that they have a bond. I mean, do you do that, Chris? Do you and Dill? I mean, when you're going here and there, do you hold hands?
Yeah, sometimes we hold hand. It depends on the situation, but usually I'll have my arm around her or something, and we'll be touching each other somehow physically. So there's that connection. It may not be hand holding, but yeah, physical connection, especially at night, just snuggling together is so important. And so to see Wally trying to achieve that, having been so alone, and also being influenced by Hello Dolly, which I'm assuming there must be some romance element to it because it's a musical, and it was I don't know when it came out, but assuming the 50s or something.
this could be, though, very problematic because, you know, you've
Yeah.
got Wally who is pursuing someone who is not
So
returning. So again, you could really,
yeah.
again, this is meant to be, it is meant to be cute and
Mm-hmm.
fun. But if you like, it could also be, this is like a really bad lesson. This is not what you do.
No, not what you should be
Yeah.
doing. And I even said to Dill jokingly, and she's like, that actually kind of like changed how she felt about
Hmm.
it. Whereas
Yeah.
like the way Wally is just watching Eve when she's landing just
Hmm.
gives me the vibe of there's a young boy at his home, pretty girl moves in next door,
Hmm.
and now all that boy wants to do is talk to her, even if she's not interested.
Yes. And that's not good.
Even
Mm-hmm.
Till was
Yeah.
like, my gosh, this is
Yeah.
like Wally's being really creepy
Yes.
in this
Yes.
way.
So you have to like really like again put that aside and understand what
Yeah,
they were going for and the
Mm-hmm.
fact that, you know, and they are robots, they're not you know, you
they're
have
not
to put that aside
humans.
because yes, if you go there, then you're like, it ruins the whole movie for you, and you know it can't just be Wally's a cute robot. I want
Well,
Wally to
in
be
a
just a
sense,
cute
he's
robot.
watching the movie and he sees the action at the beginning
Hmm.
of them all singing, dancing, and
Hmm.
we're not going to go until we kiss a girl. The
Hmm.
song, that's at the beginning, and he's like, I want to experience that. Now, again, Dina, we understand in when we watch a movie about robots, they start out one way often and they end up another.
Hmm.
And was Wally sentient? Is that I never say that word right?
Sentient,
Sentient?
sentient.
Sentient. Thank you. Was he sentient to begin with, or did his loneliness and his finding all these human things, toys and collectibles and whatever he gets, reprogram him to want to evolve emotionally from where he was to where he is?
Well,
See,
he's certainly sentient when we start to see
yeah.
him. Yeah. So
Right.
when along no, because we don't know when he was created. We don't know how long he's been
Mhm.
around. And it's
Mm-hmm.
obviously he's been
Mm-hmm.
around a while, but we don't really know when or how long. And we don't
Mm-hmm.
know
Yeah.
when it happened.
I
Yeah.
kind of feel like he was like built that way only because like the other robots we see on the ship on the Axiom all feel like they're kind of sentient. Like they're not being exposed to anything that should be. Like even the way that security um droid, not
Hmm.
droids, that's Star Wars.
That's okay. You can call them droids.
The
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
that
we
was
know what you're talking
cleaning.
about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cleaning one
Hmm.
seems way more than just like it's my function and that's what I'm doing and there's no feeling, but like I'm like determined to do it
But the
in a way
ones that are
that
on the
seemed to go
ship,
beyond.
yeah, but even the ones that are on the ship are way more advanced than Wally
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
But did
too.
they are more advanced, but I feel like it would have been the same manufacturer.
Well,
And so
so
I don't
yes,
know.
it's the
I
same that
assumed it
same
was like
company.
I assumed it was like a Star Wars thing where it's like the androids, all the droids in Star Wars, regardless of where they're built, are all basically not human, but they're all like sentient.
Hmm.
They're all, even if they're just built by like a kid building something with spare parts. So I feel like all those robots
I don't think the other
were like
Wallys were
that, but
sentient. No, I don't, because again,
like
they
you don't think
seem
he
to be
was
like
born
much
like built
older.
that way?
Yeah, they seem to be
Mm-hmm.
much older. So like my kind of, I want to say, assumption is that when they originally launched the Axiom, at least at first, that the company that ran things, their scientists and engineers went too to continue to develop the technology. Because why wouldn't
Right.
they? You know, so like the company like that, you know, if they're building this ship, they're employing engineers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
did
at
they have
first,
any engineers? Like I guess they would have died
no,
off
I think
at
the
some
thing is,
point.
I think over time, right? So when they first went out, they probably still kept that all going. And then, yeah, over the couple hundred years, it all died out as some combination of losing interest, they themselves getting, you know, blah. So it just, yes, I also assumed it just died out. But in order to keep the technology developing for a while anyway, because the
Yeah.
technology is clearly more advanced.
Yeah. It also to the point of self-generating, where,
Mhm.
like you said, that on board the Axiom, as needs were found, the computer would design robots to fit those needs. If it's
Mhm.
Mo, our molecular obliterator character, who is just
all these,
adorable. He's
yes.
to the one robot I love. My favorite one, for some reason, is the one that's in the hallway, just poking at a keyboard, because that's all it does. Very sad, very lonely. Just, that one person's got that one terrible job, and I felt so bad for it,
Yeah.
And then all the other ones, the rogue robots, are all they're the comedy troupe in the movie. They're the ones that do all the goofy stuff, and when they're freed, they show that they actually are good because they come to Wall-E's aid and really end up doing what they can to get the mission accomplished of getting back to Earth, so to speak. Yeah. But again, I think I wrote this down, Adina. In your robot world, when you watch this movie, is Wall-E your favorite character? Is
Oh, absolutely.
one?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I have to put aside the fact that he is fundamentally being creepy with Eve. Like he is.
Right.
I do have to put that aside.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah, because I think there's no ill intent is one of the thing, is one of the things there, and it is a robot. It is not a human. So
It's just a lonely person wanting
robot.
not to be lonely anymore. Thank you.
Lonely robot.
Lonely
No,
robot.
if
who
it's a
doesn't want to
person,
be
then it
lonely
really
anymore.
is too creepy. Then I can't excuse if it was a human, I really couldn't excuse the creepiness.
Right. But
It's like that movie. What was that movie a few years ago? I think with Chris Pratt. It was the one where he wakes up early on the long ship.
Oh, Passengers.
Yeah, the Passengers.
Yes.
Was that the one that he's like watching the girl?
Yes.
Yes, and then
Jennifer Lawrence's character.
Yeah,
and he decides that she's the one he's going to revive.
Right.
Because he's fixated on her.
Right. Okay. And we see the movie from his point of view, which seems not too creepy and seems reasonable. But if you flip it and imagine it from her point of view, it is creepy as F.
And she does refuse him to begin with until the point where she realizes it's gone too far. Like when he wants to propose to her. I think he has like a ring or something like that. And she's like, it's to the point where it goes too far. And then like Wall-E, he has to do something heroic to prove to her that he's not that creepy guy, that he is actually someone who really cares for her.
That's the difference. Wall-E didn't cause any of the things to happen. He didn't cause any of the things to happen to to Eve. That's the key difference between these two movies and why it's not so bad. He was kind of advancing himself at Eve, but at the end of the day, he was just truly taking care. Like especially when she was in that stasis. He was just taking care of her. He didn't awaken her like in Passenger. He didn't do anything actually creepy. He was just there and trying to take care of her. That was all he did. He didn't cause her to wake up.
Right. And when Eve finally sees the recorded video of what he did, all the encapsulation of all the things he did to protect her while she was in stasis.
Yes.
She realizes that's when her coming to grips
big
of
difference.
Yes.
Yeah. It's still his advances are a little not like a little much, but it was truly all a protective-ish thing, not yeah.
What else? I think that's one thing this film does is evokes emotion from the viewer, and everyone, I guess, they have different feelings, how they take from it. And again, like you also mentioned, Chris, about other Pixar movies that really, really touch you. Inside Out, the one about psychological emotions. I mean, wow, that one really
I just saw that once with one of my kids.
I think I've only seen a lot of them once. Like I saw Inside Out, the first one when it came out, and then I saw the second one when it came out, but I haven't seen them since.
Yeah. the again, there's a, where they're. I think that's one thing about Pixar does is that they examine something of the human condition in a certain way.
Yeah.
Either it's
Yep.
robots and relationships that people
Yeah.
can have or try to develop, where you understand the emotional and psychological makeup of someone in Inside Out and how our memories work and the whole
Yeah.
line about losing your marbles. Well, okay, so that's a great joke in the film, and it becomes the reason for people's memories. They're losing
Oh
their
yeah,
marbles.
that's right.
So I had to go
To
back and look up at a list of Pixar movies to kind of remember, like, because which ones are Pixar versus which ones are other
Or
animation
Disney,
studios at
yeah,
this point. Yeah.
yeah,
Because if
because
there's, I can't.
at the point where when Disney purchased Pixar, I
Mhm.
think that was in 2006. I remember going, it's funny, I remember going to, when I was a stockholder with Disney and going to one of their shareholders meetings out
Oh, you
here in
did?
California
Oh, that would have been fun.
Oh, that would have been cool.
and seeing, it was really interesting. Robert is who's the I forget his last name, who's Iger, Robert Iger, who's now was the president at that time, became the new president of the company. And he introduced John Lasseter after,
Hmm.
coming in. So where I was sitting in the audience, you could see the teleprompter for Robert.
Hmm.
And it was going on. You could hear him talking and reading it. And then John Lasseter comes out and there's no teleprompter. He's just talking from who he was.
Hmm.
Sadly, as you talk about creepy people, he ended up getting sent away because of the
Oh, I
whole,
didn't know
what
that. I don't
happened
think
with,
I don't think I really know anything about him.
yeah, he got,
Mhm.
yeah, he was a little too
Okay. Okay.
close.
We
Anyway,
understand.
but again, they always worked on trying to invoke a certain emotion from their films. Even Cars, where you have inanimate objects of cars having personalities that portray who they're supposed to be and the beauty of Route 66 and what the simple life means. So I think that's what they always strive for, and I think they did that in Wall-E very much so, about the connection between humans or the
Hmm.
connection that we want to make with someone else. And there's a long line of Pixar movies now. There's it's really amazing. Even movies like Coco, which just really get to you emotionally. So I think that's what Pixar has always done. It's pulled at your heartstrings.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah. So I'm like looking at the movies, and yes, I mean Monsters Inc. I love Monsters Inc. Finding Nemo is also one of my favorite movies. The
mhm.
Yeah, Finding Nemo was
Incredibles,
really
love
good.
the
Love Monsters Inc.
Cars. And
Yeah.
again, my
Cars
you
I need
know,
to
my
rewatch.
yeah, car, like, why I've seen that with my kids.
Uh-huh.
That one was a big one, with especially with my older son when he was younger. That was huge.
My grandson had every model of the cars from the films
Oh,
and knew every single character and who
yeah.
they were
Mhm.
and everything. It's that connects with kids and it
Yeah.
connects with adults as well, so to
Yeah. Oh,
speak.
I love car. It actually, that's what I don't see on this list. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I forget what studio it is, what movie, like, but Turbo, I
Hmm.
thought Turbo was Pixar, but I guess Turbo was not
Yeah,
Pixar.
yeah.
Yeah,
Turbo's really good too. I like
yeah.
that a lot.
Or even the one about the inflatable robot.
Oh, Big Hero 6. I love
Big,
Baymax.
Oh
Big
yeah,
Hero 6.
yep.
I
yeah.
love, that's also.
Yeah, that was
So
really
when I
good.
when I write my robot books, especially my Crazy Foolish Robots and the Robot Galaxy series, again,
Hmm.
I tell people that it's like, if you think of Wally and Baymax, R2D2, all of those like robots that we all think are cute and fun, like, wrap them up together. And those are that's Swell Driver and my
Mm.
robots. Yeah.
Swell Driver he's a great character.
Yeah. He's
He
cute.
really is. Noble, adorable, loyal. Yeah, you really
Hmm.
hit it on the relationship between SD and Ruby. It's
Yeah.
it's a very special connection between the two of them.
Definitely inspired by Wally, and like I said, all those other like cute. And
Right.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm wearing my Wally Eve
Oh,
shirt.
I
Oh,
did. Oh my
nice.
goodness.
Yes, I have a Hawaiian shirt that has like Wally and Evil. It's a pattern of
Very
them on it.
cool.
Yeah.
I wish everyone could see it. It is. It's really a neat one. It's really nice. I don't know
It
if
is
you
not
had that.
flattering on me, but
It's comfortable. It's
yes.
comfortable. And I guess that's what Wally's supposed to make you feel comfortable, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. Boy, I mean, we've really hit on all the high points about this movie. Is there anything else?
Well, so the one thing I'm going to say too,
Yeah.
that I didn't really, I guess I've noticed it, but now since Brian talks about music all the time, I am
Oh,
definitely noticing
gosh.
the music more, and I'm not talking about like the Hello Dolly, that stuff, but like the actual,
But
Oh,
like
the
the
score.
score, yeah.
I now
thank you
notice
for
that a lot
bringing that
more.
up, Adina.
Yeah. So I tell you, I did find it, on the music app, and that is going to be, at least for a little while, because it's the instrumental is just so lovely. That is going to be my writing music for my
Yeah.
background music for writing for like a while.
I'm glad you brought it up because I should have written that as one of the questions for discussion. You're absolutely right, and I wish Brian was here to talk about it because the music it enhances the film. You know, the emotion that you're seeing, like the quality of the music as you're going into Earth, and the loneliness. The music has a lonely
Hmm.
sound to it when Wally's all by himself,
Hmm.
or when when he's hanging onto the spaceship as it's leaving Earth to go up to the Axiom, and the music takes up such a powerful emotion of the launch and everything
Hmm.
as he's traveling through space, or even the dancing sequence in with Wally and Eva
I
as
think my
he's
favorite is like just when he's just going around, at the opening, during the opening sequence when you're just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
seeing him in his world. Yeah, like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, whatever
There's
they did,
an
I love that.
there's an adorable quality to it. It's almost
Yes.
childlike in that the
Yeah.
simple notes that he's
Do,
using.
do, 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 do. Yeah.
And interesting, this is one of the Newman family. Thomas
Hmm.
Newman did this, and I think that is the nephew of Randy Newman.
Oh, like okay, Randy.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
is it
I think so. If I look up his
cousin?
history,
Cousin. According
is it
Oh, his
to
cousin?
cousin.
Wikipedia, they're cousins.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
he's a year older than me. He was born October 20th, 1955. I was
55.
October the 4th, 1956.
There
So
you
he
go.
precedes me by a year. But you're right. I mean, the music that he does in this is just. Everyone always thinks about Michael Giacchino as being Mr. Pixar when it comes to music, but you're right.
Hmm.
This one just
No,
really
this is
stands
awesome.
out.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
he did a lot of movies. He did Finding Nemo. He did Finding
Oh yeah.
Dory.
Hmm.
He did The
Which was
Green
nowhere near as
Mile.
good as Finding Nemo, even
I've
though I
never
love
seen
the
Finding
character
Dory.
Dory. It's okay. It's like okay if you didn't.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it really is okay. I mean, like, it's not the worst movie in the world, but like, it was not. Yeah, yeah.
Well, Finding Nemo. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was cute, but you go like you say. Do you need to do a sequel?
No,
And
Yeah,
right.
they didn't
and
need
just
to.
the conclusion on the end of Finding Nemo was almost enough.
Hmm.
We got to find
Exactly.
out.
Exactly.
He got to tell his son that a sea turtle lives for 150 years.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
there's
Some
another
movies do
little
not
film that
need sequels.
sometimes it's not. But again, there's the fifth installment of the Toy Story
I haven't
saga
seen
just
it.
came out.
I
I went
haven't
and
seen
saw
it.
it. It's nice. It's a nice
Okay.
movie. I'll put it
I'm
that
just
way.
Okay.
It's
surprised
a
there's
nice
so many
movie.
of Toy Story movies. I found like I love the original Toy Story. I enjoy Toy
Yes.
Story 2. Toy Story 3 hit at a time that was
Mm,
perfect because I was also just starting university. So I was like Andy. And then I felt like 4 was fine, but it just feels like, okay, what are we doing?
Let's put
Why
it
are there
this way.
so many movies?
When Lay and I were in the theater in Toy Story 4 and they're heading into the furnace to be melted down, there was a person sitting next to Elaine, guy who was just about as old as me, and he was crying like a baby
oh my
over
gosh.
the thinking that they were all going to die in a
That's when they all
fiery
die
ending.
in Toy Story.
You're not going to do
Wow.
that at the end of Toy Story, but I mean, emotional connection, that people get
Yeah.
from these
Okay.
movies.
I just feel like always trying to end on a high note. Don't produce so many movies, but that's another topic for another
Yeah,
time.
but then again, it's the we can make one more. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Let's or
Sometimes
is
it's okay to stop.
I know. Yes, I think there's been a couple way too many Terminator films as well, or too many Alien films or so on. You can just milk the product for just too far.
A little too much.
Yeah.
Although I feel like, well, Alien, from what I've heard, like Alien, like the Alien Earth, the TV show, people seem to really like. And
I
I
have
heard that
watched
the
it.
most recent
I
movie did pretty
started
well.
watching it,
And people liked it.
Yeah.
So
I
And
watched
I want
it.
to say
It's
that's a
way
different
back.
because TV shows are different from movies because of the
Yeah.
that's different. So turning something into a TV show is different
Hmm.
than a sequel to a movie. So I'll give Alien Earth a pass on my
Yeah, but even
stop.
like the more recent Alien movie, I think
Yeah.
people seem to like. From what I remember reading about it,
Okay.
people are like, "Oh wow, this is
I
actually
have
really
not
good."
caught up with all that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still have to
It's,
finish 4. Like I started 4 about a year ago, and have not finished it.
That's
So it's
quite
on my
all right.
list.
It's quite all right. I wasn't and like Alien 3, and here we are talking about Alien,
Yeah, I
and
know. I'm still
not
upset about
Wall-E,
that.
but
Well,
still
but
like
it's
the
to the
concept
party,
of
but
sequels,
woo.
and even
Yeah.
that one's like my wife hates it because Ripley dies at the end. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. Sorry, folks, but I mean it's like no, you don't want to see that. You don't want to end on a tragic note.
Yeah.
You want to end up on a high note,
So
and I
as
think that's
awesome
Which luckily Wally did. Wally
Yes.
ended on a perfect high note for me. I'm like, this is what I needed. This is what I wanted after all those feelings.
Mhm.
right. That's the thing is as awesome as Wally is, I think we've talked about it. I mean, like it's so simple in a way,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we might as well just flip all the way the cards over and go to what's most important, the final, I don't know how you right the finale that we need, the Brian Donahue 5-star rating
Yes.
system, copyright Brian Donahue 2026. We always come up with a 5-star rating. Adina, let you go first. Which
Oh,
would you?
easy 5.
Yeah.
Because again, remember, I like to do a 5 if it's like something I will watch and rewatch, and I think it's a good movie. If it's got both of those qualities to it, to me, that's a 5. This is a clear, easy 5.
Yeah. Mr. Chris?
I'd say for me, it's hard because I think as a movie, it is so incredibly well made. And the fact that they can convey that emotion and tell so much story without dialog to the point where there's really not much dialogue until the third act, I'd say.
Yeah.
That it's like a master class in filmmaking. But for me, I would say it's a 4.5 only because I know this is not a movie that I'm going to be rewatching all the time. It's probably one that I probably won't watch unless Dill wants to rewatch it or future kids that want to check it out and we're going to introduce it to them. But this is not like a movie that I would just put on in the background or like just to rewatch on a random day personally.
Okay.
And I know that's sacrilege because it is considered to be like peak Pixar. But just for me, I think it's not one that I would rewatch over and over again.
Interesting. I'm leading with Adina. I'm going to give the movie a 4.95. Okay.
4.95.
4.95.
Wow. I think it's the first
4.95.
time it's ever been
Because
assigned.
Just because there's other movies I consider to be 5s that I will watch, like as we did just the other day, Independence Day. What do we watch? Independence Day. Why? Because I love the movie and I can
It's
watch
so
it
good.
every single day. So I see what you feel the same way, Adina. Is like, all right, I'll give it a 5. There
Now-
we go.
Okay, and then when I say rewatch, especially a movie like this, I am not just sitting there glued to the TV. It's like background rewatch because I've seen it like
Yeah.
100 times. It's background. Like even the other day, I did not need to rewatch it for this podcast because I know it very well.
Yeah.
But I was like, my kids asked, "Hey, let's all watch a movie." I'm like, "Okay, well, guess what? We're gonna watch this because I need to." So they actually watched it because Raymond, I'm pretty sure he saw it. My little one, I'm pretty sure he's seen it before, but might have been 2 or 3 last time he saw it. And it'd been a long time for my older kid too. So they watched it, and I actually was sitting nearby painting while
Oh,
I
wow.
was, yeah. And I was more like listening to it and looking up every now and then.
Even Frank
yeah.
sat through the whole film?
Well, his girlfriend was there too. So,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, very nice.
Ah. Were they
I love a
holding
good
hands at the
romance.
time? Were they making that connection like Wally and
They might have been. All three of them might have been sitting on the couch. It was adorable. It was adorable.
I think that's
and
a great moment.
I'm at my craft table painting nearby. Yes.
Again, there it is, that connection between
Sure.
one person and another, and that's special. So, well, in the end, I believe the answer to my opening question is a confirmed yes. What Wally only wants to do is connect with Eve, and I think the creator of the film, Andrew Stanton, who had a music background, was smart enough to use a sequence from Hello Dolly in the movie to show what we all want in life, to connect with someone else. Wally, programmed to do one job to clean up our planet, became the savior of the Earth in the film. And in doing so, he saved himself from the one thing we all wish to avoid, loneliness. I hope you were as much moved as I and my friends here when we first saw Wall-E in the theater. This little robot showed so much humanity and love that it really is the beauty of this film. And to our friends who listen to this and all our other podcasts, thank you. We do this for the love of science fiction and to connect as we do every week to make these podcasts. Be sure to like and comment on your favorite platform where you listen to these podcasts. I hope that they help you to connect with the others in the science fiction community. And as always, I leave you with these parting words. Look to the sky. Live long and prosper.
This podcast is a part of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network, available at trekgeeks.com and everywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts.